welcome to the last part of quad rules. Till now we have seen 6 rules. Now remaining rules are very simple. Rule number 7 says that every RDBMS should support high level insert, update and delete. Now what does it mean? It means that you should be able to perform insert, update, delete on multiple rows at a time. Very simple. For example, you have a table, select star from student, and if you want to change the city to Haridwar for all students, you can do it. Very easy. What you will do? Update student set city equals to, you give any name, Allahabad. 8 rows updated. You can see all have changed to Allahabad. So what we have done? We have changed the set at a time. So again, I would like to remind you that you will say that it is very simple. It is simple because of this rule. Because it was said in this rule that you should be able to do all these things in the form of a set. Therefore, the SQL is behaving in this way. So you must remember that these rules came first. Then on the basis of these rules, SQL was developed. So whatever SQL is behaving, it is because of these rules. Now, rule number 8, again very simple. Physical data independence. It says that whatever changes are done at the lower level, you must be remembering 3-layer architecture. Maybe a storage technology change from optical to semiconductor to magnetic or any other, or solid state or to any other technology, the upper 2 levels should not be affected. It means that whatever internal algo is changed, whatever changes are done to the implementation part of the DBMS, it should not be reflected back at the upper layer. For example, most of the time, WhatsApp recommends you to update the software, and many multiple changes are done in the new version. However, you are able to see your older messages. So older messages are your upper level, and changes what WhatsApp had done inside, they are internal level. So this is called as physical data independence. Okay. Next is logical data independence. Now this is a little bit tricky. It says that whatever changes are done to the logical structure, the as far as possible, the current user view should not be affected. Let us see with an example. Again, we have a table, select star from student. Now, suppose there is a query, select star from student, where balance, or you say it where roll number in 4, 5, 6, 9. Okay, the result has come. Now, suppose you add a column in this table, alter table student add email varchar 210. Now what we have done, we have changed the logical structure of the table. Earlier there were 4 columns, now there are 5 columns. So what has changed? Logical structure has changed, you can see. But even after making any changes to the logical structure, previous queries will execute. Like see, if I try to execute this query again, it will execute. So this rule says that as far as possible, any changes to the logical structure should not affect your older or existing external views. One thing can be there. Suppose you drop a particular column and then you try to use it, then it will give error. So sometimes it cannot be implemented 100%. Okay. Next, this rule is again very easy. You have done it in your previous assignment. Integrity independence are of 2 types: referential integrity and entity integrity. Entity integrity means primary key and referential integrity means foreign key. So what we can say that primary key and foreign key are because of these rules. Okay, there is no need to see any practical demo because you have already created primary key and foreign key. So primary key and foreign key are because of these this rule number 10. This rule number 11 says that database should support distribution independence, which means that even if your database is spread across multiple geographical locations, users should not be aware of it, or you can say that user should not get into the details of it, at how it is been done. For user, if he is trying to view the data, it should be available handy. Let me give you an example. In Oracle, it is possible to break a table in multiple columns in such a way that these columns are stored in different servers in even different countries. So what can happen that if you do select star from student, these two columns are coming from India server, this column is coming from Australia server, and these two columns are coming from American server. But user might not be aware of it, and user is least bothered about it. What user will do? User will type select star from student. Now at the background, it is the responsibility of DBMS that it displays the user data without any hassle. Okay, so this is the meaning of distribution independent, that user should be totally unaware of whether or not database is distributed. Okay, now last rule, no subversion rule. Now this is a very simple rule. uh, this rule says that, as you know, a single database can be connected using different technologies. For example, you can connect it with Java, you can connect it with Android, you can connect it with Python, ASP, JSP, whatever is the whatever language you call. However, in no case any language should be able to bypass the rules of the DBMS. Okay, this is a simple meaning. For example, if you have implemented primary key, then through programming you should not be able to bypass the rule of programming key in the DBMS. No duplicate value will be allowed through any method. This is the simple meaning. You can call it as a strict design constraint on the RDBMS, that however advanced, whatever advanced a language may become, or whatever advanced an RDBMS may become, original RDBMS rules should be strictly followed. This is a simple meaning of this rule. So with this, we come to the end of code rules. I request you to practically you see them all, try them, learn them. They are very simple and they are very useful. Thank you very much. See you in next video.